I'm about to build a complete personal finance app with zero manual coding. And I'm going to show you that one setup that separates beginners from expert, the setup that 90% of the tutorials don't show you. Before we touch any code, let me show you exactly what we are building using a quick architecture diagram. We are building a money manager app. At the top, we have 5 React components, a dashboard that ties everything together, a transaction form for adding income and expenses, a transaction list showing all your transaction, and 2 charts, one showing your spending by category and the other one showing monthly trends. Below that, we have our state management, a custom hook called use transaction that handles all the logic, adding transaction, deleting them, calculating totals, and it uses TypeScript for clean data structures. Then we have our data layer, local storage for persistence so your data survives page refreshes. And we are using rechart library for visualization. And now here's the game plan. 6 prompts, that's it. Spin up the project, build the data layer, add the UI components, wire up the charts, compose the dashboard, then add a theme toggle to show you how easy iteration is. Let's go. Alright, before we write a single line of code, let me show you a secret weapon. This is Claude.md file. Claude Code reads this file automatically at start of every session. It's like giving Claude a briefing document. You can also call it like a persistent memory for your own project. Look at what I have defined here. The tech stack, React 18, TypeScript, Tailwind version 4. And notice, I'm being very specific about Tailwind. Version 4 actually changed the entire setup process. If you don't specify this, Claude might use an older method and everything might break. I have also defined the exact design system, dark theme, purple and blue gradients, specific color codes. When Claude knows all this upfront, it doesn't have to guess. I have even defined where each and every file goes. Component folder, hook folder, type folder. Claude follows this structure automatically. This is what separates a working app from a broken mess. Alright, let's build. I'm in an empty directory with just my Claude.md file. Okay, let's start Claude. You can see Claude just loaded my Claude.md file on the bottom right corner. It now knows the entire project, the stack, the design, the structure, everything. Quick tip before we start. If you want Claude to stop asking permission for everything it is doing, you can run Claude with a dangerously skip permission flag. I'm not going to do that today because I want you to see the full flow, but it's a game changer for productivity if you don't care about security. Alright, let's start with our first prompt. This prompt will actually build the entire project structure, install all the dependencies that we need for this project. As I mentioned, Claude will actually ask us permissions. We'll just say yes. Alright, I'm going to skip through this first initial build and come back with what actually Claude did. Alright, so it took about like 2 minutes 27 seconds for Claude to actually finish our prompt 1. Now let's verify. Start the dev server so can see the app. There you go. We have a running React app and our whole money manager structure is set up. Now let's build actual features. All right, there you go. I just showed you our React app. Now also let's look at the project structure. What all we have the components, the hooks, we have all the files, everything. And here is our prompt 2. Note, I'm being very specific here. I'm not saying just build a form. I'm specifying every field, the data structure, the exact behavior I want. The more precise your prompts are, the better your results. This is the core principle of vibe coding. You are not writing code, you are writing specifications. Alright, let's give this to Claude and let it roll. And I'll see you now once Claude cooks this. Alright, it just took 42 seconds for Claude to cook our prompt 2. Now let's see what Claude built. Alright, here's our React app again. Expenses, we can see all the categories here. For income, let's see. Yep, Claude built all our categories here. Okay, moving to prompt 3. Note, we are building incrementally. Each prompt adds one logical piece. This is way more reliable than asking everything at once. If something breaks, you know exactly which prompt caused it. Alright, that took about 58 seconds for Claude to cook. Now let's look at our React app again. Now we can actually test the full flow. Right now the list is empty. We haven't added anything yet. Let's fix that. Maybe let's add an income, say $5,000. Category, we'll just say salary. For description, we'll just say W2 and then today's date, and then we'll add that. Okay, watch the list. There it is. Date, category, description, amount in green because it's income. Now an expense. Let's maybe add $100 for say bills. We'll say Claude Max, and then we'll add that. Look, red for expense. And now you can also see our balance updated. It was $5,000. Now we have 4,900 left. Now let's see if our filters work. Income only. Yep, we can only see our income. For expenses, we can only see our expenses. Let's also refresh our page and see if our data persists. And there you go. We just refreshed. Local storage is working. There it is, our already functional app, but it's still missing the visual punch. Alright, we are back in our IDE and Claude Code just cooked our prompt 4. Now we just added charts to our app. Charts is where most tutorials fail. People spend hours fighting with chart libraries, checking documentation, debugging, but because Claude knows from our Claude.md that we are using recharts and it knows our color scheme, it will generate working code on first try. Alright, now let's verify what Claude cooked. There's our pie chart showing our spending category. Right now, we only have one expense for Claude Max subscription, so it's only showing bills as 100%. Let's add more expenses to see it in action. We'll do $50, say food. We'll do Uber Eats and add that. And there you go. Our pie chart just updated. Now we have $150 in expenses. We have 67% in bills and 33% in food. Let's add one more, say $100, and we'll do maybe do shopping. We'll do Gymshark, and there you go. We have shopping at 40%. We have bills at 40%. We have food at 20%, and our chart is actually updating on the fly. And even our total balance went down to 4,750. It was 5,000 when we started from our salary. And then you can also see the transaction list updated and added all the categories with an icon as well. And I also wanted to show one more thing. If we hover over the categories, you can also see the actual dollar amount. So bills were $100, shopping was $100, and then food is another $50. Let me add one more. Let me do for entertainment. We'll just say $14.99 for YouTube. And there you go. So now we have 4 categories spread out across our spending of $264. And now you can also see a bar chart on our right that shows our expenses and income for the month of February. We have got the data layer, we have got the visuals. Now we need to bring it all together in a single dashboard. This is the moment of truth. We are asking Claude to compose all our components together. It needs to import everything correctly, wire up the state, handle the layout. If the Claude.md file is set up right, this should work. And that's it. Claude just cooked our final prompt, and now let's verify our app. 3 cards, total income in green, expenses in red, net saving in purple. At a glance, you know exactly where you stand. And below that, form on the left side and category chart on the right. You can also see monthly trends, full transaction history with filters to search. Everything stacks, fully responsive, no extra work. That's a complete personal finance app built with 5 prompts, no manual coding. But I want to show you one more thing. How easy is it to iterate? Alright, so we are back in our IDE for the final time. Let's say I want a dark mode. In traditional workflow, this is 30 minutes of work. CSS variables, state management, local storage, transitions. Let me show you how long it takes for Claude Code to cook this. And done. Now we have a toggle to switch between dark and light mode. This is the power of vibe coding if done right. You're not fighting the AI, you are actually collaborating with it. Alright, so that's how I use Claude Code for real project. The Claude.md file is the key. It turns Claude from a generic assistant into a team member who knows your entire code base. If you want to see more such AI build, subscribe and hit the bell. I'm dropping videos every single week and building real apps using AI. Next video, I'm going to show you how to make this wipe coded app actually secure. And we will run this app through our security tool and see how Claude Code did on security. Drop a comment below and tell me what app you want me to build next. I'm going to open source this money manager app with the full Claude.md setup. You can find the link in description. This is UD signing off. See you in next one.